Last week's rivalry showdown at Bella Vista. This week's matchup at Woodcreek. Player profile and coach's corner. All this today on Game Day. Welcome back to another edition of Game Day, Rams fans. I'm your host, Marcus Sampson, here with Corbin Bailey. Last week, the Rams had a rivalry showdown at Bella Vista. Corbin, how'd the game look?
The game, I would say it was an ugly win, Marcus, because the Rams they came out and the Broncos were able to return the opening kickoff for a touchdown.
That's right. After that opening kickoff, though, the Rams were able to respond with a long, lengthy 6-minute touchdown drive. And also, the defense really dominated with 3 interceptions and 2 sacks, so they did pretty well.
Yeah, and I'd say by the second half, they completely shut out BB's offense and only allowed 1 more touchdown, but they did block the field goal for that.
That's right. We do have some highlights from the game for you. Starting off the game in response to Bella Vista's quick score, Casa senior quarterback Charles Hubbard rolls out and hits yours truly, senior wide receiver Marcus Sampson on a go route for a 10-yard touchdown reception, capping off the 6-minute drive. BV with the ball on offense, the quarterback scrambles and attempts a pass, which is picked off by sophomore safety Luke Nichols, who then returns it for 65 yards.
Casa with the ball on offense again completed a 50-yard pass to senior wide receiver Aaron Davis, and on the next play, another deep 33-yard pass to Davis. To finish off the drive, Charles Hubbard scores on a quarterback keeper.
Following the only Bella Vista offensive touchdown, the Rams defense rebounds by blocking a PAT attempt.
Casa with the ball on offense, Charles Hubbard fakes a sprint out but hands the ball off to junior running back Jake Erickson for a big gain. To top off the drive, Charles Hubbard scores on yet another quarterback keeper.
Casa on defense again, junior outside linebacker Jacob Miller sees the quarterback flushed out of the pocket and does his best Antonio Brown impersonation of a Mortal Kombat move and sacks the quarterback for a loss. In the fourth quarter, Casa defense shuts down but the Bella Vista quarterback with a sack by senior defensive end Corey Umebayashi.
Keeping up the momentum, junior outside linebacker Chris Kendall intercepts BB's pass to get Casa offense the ball back. Kendall then stays in on offense and finds the end zone a few plays later.
BV's final offensive drive ended very abruptly as senior defensive end Ryan Rafferty tipped a pass to senior middle linebacker Garrett Sarantakos, who then intercepted it and took it back to the Bella Vista 25-yard line to end the game at a final score of 28-13. Casa wins. Last week's game did give the Rams a good starting point for their season. Moving on to this week, the Rams face off against the 1-0 Woodcreek Timberwolves. Woodcreek doesn't have as much speed as they had last year, but they have made up for it with a new, more deceptive, fast-paced offense in the Veer. And to give us a quick look at that, we have Corbin in his little corner. Corbin?
Thank you guys. Now we'll be taking a quick look at what Woodcreek will be running against us at the game tonight. Offensively, they have a Veer, two receivers, a tight end, quarterback under center, and 2 running backs in the backfield. Defensively, they have a 3-2 front, a stand-up DN, 2 outside linebackers, and 3 DBs playing cover 3 or cover 1. Back to you guys.
And thank you, Corbin, for that inside look at what the Timberwolves will be running against the Rams this week. The Woodcreek does have a little bit above average size. They have a lot larger school than Casa, but they do only have average speed, which should provide some of our playmakers with big opportunities this week. One of these playmakers includes senior wide receiver, number 23, Jonathan Chapman, this week's player profile. Senior wide receiver number 23, Jonathan Chapman, stands at 5'10 and weighs 190 pounds, and he's also this week's player profile. In order to prepare for the season, John went above and beyond to improve his skills.
I have prepared for the season by training, going to the gym, going to practice every day, and mentally preparing myself for our last year of football at Casa High School.
As a senior, John believes it is his job to help lead the receiving corps.
My role is to be a leader in the receiving corps as long as Marcus and all the other seniors. And I also run patterns, catch balls, block for the running backs.
Going into his senior season, John has a lot of personal goals that he'd like to achieve.
My personal goals for the season is to have at least 10 touchdowns, have a lot of catches, a lot of receiving yards.
In tonight's game, John knows that there are big challenges to be faced.
Some challenges we are facing against Woodcreek this week is they have good size, they have decent speed, they have a pretty good amount of people on their team, and we've had trouble with them the past few years.
Although Woodcreek is a tough opponent tonight, John believes that the necessary preparations have been done for the game.
We are preparing for Woodcreek this week at practice by working hard, putting in good effort, one-ons, one-on-one drills, inside run, outside run attack.
With a week of practice preparation in the books, John knows he will help be a contributor to the offensive success tonight at Woodcreek. Rams fans can expect a big game out of John Chapman this week, especially since Woodcreek provides a lot of passing opportunities.
That's right, Marcus. And having Casa having their starting running back out for the game, they will be looking for other playmakers.
That's right. I did get an opportunity earlier this week to sit down with the big dog, Coach Ryan, to talk about what we will be seeing in tonight's matchup in this week's edition of Coach's Corner. Welcome back to another edition of Coach's Corner, Rams fans. I'm your host, Marcus Sampson, here with the one and only big dog, Coach Ryan.
Thanks for having me.
Last week, the Rams played BV. What are your thoughts on the performance?
Well, it looked like two teams that maybe weren't actually prepared for a game after only 8 days. Obviously, after the opening kickoff, I felt that way. But I think we dominated the second half, shut them out, scored twice for a pretty nice 1-0, 28-13 victory.
So, looking ahead to this week, what has been done to prepare for a much more formidable opponent in Woodcreek?
Well, Woodcreek's a much larger school than we are, and Coach Stowers, their coach, has installed a new offense, the Veer, and that's going to require us defensively to play a little better than last week. And I think with possible injury to our running back, the offense is going to have to rely on other people this week and not just Jake.
So, what should Ram fans expect to see in the game Friday night?
Well, I'm hoping that Charles is going to throw the ball a little bit more. He threw well last week against Bella Vista. And defensively, our safeties, Luke and Matt, are going to have to be in the mix. They're going to be making tackles on the pitch guy and toss. So that's the plan.
Well, that's all we have for you this week. Thank you, Coach Ryan, for being here.
You're welcome.
And we'll see you Friday night at Woodcreek. Coming out of Coach's Corner, we have some key questions for tonight. The first question is, Woodcreek has installed a new, more deceptive offense. How are the Rams going to be able to adjust to that?
Well, Marcus, this week in practice we have installed a new defensive formation to be able to not only adjust but cope with the outside run and also the inside run.
That's right. Now, last week, starting running back Jake Erickson did get injured. How is the Ram offense going to be able to cope with that injury this week?
Well, there is another running back stepping up to the starting spot, and we'll see how he does this game. But we are going to rely a lot on our pass game to be able to stretch the field versus the Woodcreek defense.
That's right. Now, this is the second straight week that the Rams are going on the road into another hostile environment. What effect will this have on the game?
Well, last game was a little rough, but I see that game as a warm-up for this one. And another away game, we'll be 100% ready.
I agree. So, Corbin, Casa wins if?
Casa wins if they are able to, on defensively, contain the outside and inside run, and offensively if they are able to stretch the field with their passing game. What does Woodcreek have to do to win this game?
Well, I think Woodcreek's really got to rely on their run game. They got to pound it, and they've also got to really get outside and get past our defense and just really dominate at the line of scrimmage as well. Well, that's all we have for you this week, Casa. Come out tonight at 7:30 at Woodcreek High School in Roseville to watch your Casa Roble Rams dominate!
Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah, here comes the,